community really quick. If you've been following me for a while, you know that I do this. We have the community. It's called Thriving Beyond Codependency. This is where I help you get support, get connected, be seen, be valued, be protected, have some shelter. All those good things that we tend to not have because we've been isolated by the toxic people in our life. They love to isolate us because that gives them power. It creates a power differential. It makes it harder for us to leave those relationships. It makes it easier. It insulates them too from external accountability and scrutiny, which would ultimately, if it existed in your life, would lead to you questioning their behaviors, because the healthy people will be telling you that's a bunch of bullshit, that shouldn't be happening. Okay, so today, my friends, we are going to discuss what I call me and you, the proper order of relating. Kind of a bold statement there, don't you think? Yes. Well, let's be bold today. Okay. So, me and you. So in codependency, we have a different order of thinking. We have you. Maybe me. Maybe. But you come first. So I'll figure out what you want or what you feel, or, you know, you'll tell me what you want and feel, and then we'll probably do that because maybe. Because the real orientation in codependency is regulating the other person so that we feel valuable. Right? Our value is externalized in them. Now, on the narcissistic side, it's me. Me, 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 me. Me, me. Me, me, me. It's always me. Me. That, I'm the focus. My needs, my wants, my pain, my hurt. Oh, I'm sorry I hurt you. I feel really shameful about that. Will you help me work out my shame? Me, me, me. See? Kind of like that post I made about an hour ago about that. We'll talk about that in a different video because really I want to focus on this. But me, me, me. So we have you only, which is the codependent focus, or you, maybe me. We have the narcissist, which is just me. Me, me, me. And then we have interdependence. And so many people get this confused. It's not you and me. Because if I'm still doing you and me, I'm over here in the codependent spectrum. I'm off here in La La Land. It's me and you. And the reason why, can anybody want to make a guess why? Put it in the comments. If you're on YouTube, post it there and I'll respond to you. If you're on Facebook Live, hey, let's have a conversation. Also, if you're on YouTube, hit that subscribe button. But, me. You, and then me and you. The reason why we have this order is because you need to know what you want, or what you need, or what you don't want, and what you don't need, before you can say yes and no to somebody else. Hi, Yvette. That's the point. That's the whole point. When we talk about voice, in the value, voice, and vision process that's part of the happiness strategy, when we focus on voice, we're focusing on me. There's a 5-step process for listening, and the first step is acknowledgement. I've got to acknowledge something. I need to acknowledge what I think, what I feel, what I'm perceiving, what my programming is, what they might be thinking, what I feel and think about what they're thinking, what they're feeling, what they're experiencing, what they're saying. This is the key here, me and you. I listen to how I feel about your thingy, whatever your situation is. Okay? This order helps you understand where you relate and don't to their situation. And it helps you understand what your boundary is, what you want to do, what you want to contribute. Notice I keep saying want. Want. It's not about need in this order. It can be about need, but generally if we're dealing with contributing to somebody else's world, it's a want. It might sound a little harsh, but do I need to give them something? No. Because if I need to give them something, then I'm probably seeking something from them in return. So it's really not about us. That's important. It's not about them, it's about us rather. What really has to happen here is we need to understand what we want and feel. That's the need that comes first. What do I want? What do I feel about this thing? This helps you continue to differentiate yourself from them so that you can stay sovereign, separate and whole under yourself, so you can be sovereign or autonomous, and that allows you to have honest, consensual experiences with the person. That means you're saying yes to things that you genuinely want to say yes to. It means you're saying no to things you don't want to do. Okay? Want. That's the key. Want. Because when you come from want, you're coming from a place of joy. You're coming from a place of contribution. You're coming from a place of genuine desire. I want to give this. I need to give this. How's that feel to you when I need to give them this? For me, in my body, it gets heavy. It gets distorted. The energy gets pulled into their yard. It does not feel good. Now, if I need something, then I can ask for it. I need your attention. I need your time. Well, can I have some of your attention? Can I have some of your time? So need should be converted to an ask. If I want to give something, you also ask. You need consent. But really, it's just fundamentally about understanding what you're willing to contribute to their experience. Without that, you're going to end up doing things you don't want to do, which communicates a message that's not honest. It communicates information that they'll begin to rely on as truth, but when it isn't true, right? In a way, we're not showing up in a way that communicates to them who we are and what's real about us. So they can't make accurate decisions and predictions based on our experience. And that's really, really important, because if we're not doing that, then how can we have a consensual, honest, intimate relationship, right? That's kind of how that functions. So, guys, the proper order of relating is, what do I want? What do I feel? What do I think about what you want, need, or feel, or think? And then I can make a decision that's genuine for me, which will mean it's genuine for the relationship. See, the beauty of this, and this might sound weird, but in healthy relationships, whatever's healthy for me is healthy for the relationship. Even if that requires a no. Even if that requires disappointing the other person. Even if that requires upsetting them. Because healthiness does not omit pain or disappointment. Healthiness promotes long-term well-being. And sometimes that does require some pain, discomfort. Sometimes it requires disappointment, because you're an individual who has needs and wants that your partner is not going to be able to fulfill. That's just life. Nobody can completely meet somebody else. And that's kind of the diversity of life, because that allows us to build a larger social net. Because a lot of times people, when dealing with codependency, we don't have a very strong family nexus. We don't have a healthy family boundary, or foundation rather, to return to in the event shit goes down in our lives. And needs and wants are means of contribution to each other. They're means of creating intimacy and connection. And so for codependent that's healing into their advocacy, it's about building friendships that are dynamic in meeting wants and needs outside a primary relationship. This allows you to be healthier, happier, more rounded, less enmeshed with the relationship. And if the primary relationship were to collapse or fail or end, maybe they died or something, you're not now socially isolated or emotionally isolated. You're able to meet your needs first. You're able to meet your needs with others. And so tragedy and difficulty become manageable in those dynamics. Now, this is one reason why toxic people love to isolate their target. Because when they isolate their target, they insulate the target from healthy external influence. They make the target dependent on them for what they want and need. They enmesh the target into their lives, and if the target's codependent, they gladly enmesh, because now they're getting their sense of euphoria and identity and value from all of this. Hey, Laura. My sister from another mother. And they become enmeshed in it, and then they get into their trauma bonding, and life is just heaven and then hell, and heaven and hell, and heaven and hell. Blech. So this is important, guys. Healthiness has a requirement that we become diversified in our connections to other human beings. It requires us to anchor in understanding what you want and need first before you contribute or ask for something. Okay? This keeps you healthy. This keeps you anchored in you. There's a term I use in my courses, my curriculum, my trainings, whatever you want to call it. It's called internal orientation, because codependency is what's called external orientation. You are oriented to their feelings, their values, what they want, what they need. You need to orient back to you, what you think, what you feel, what's going on for you. That differentiation allows you to be healthy and happy. It connects you back with that value, voice, and vision that you have, and that allows your happiness to ignite and to work and to do the things that it's here to do. Because you're a brilliant contribution. We just got to get you aligned with that. So, guys, this is the foundation for understanding boundaries, for understanding if a person's compatible with you, for avoiding enmeshment and being absorbed by them or in them. It's also the foundation for your happiness, because you can't be happy if you're lost in someone else's universe and yard. Okay? Because that's for them, not for you. Come back home. Back to you. That's where your happiness is. And it's a brilliant thing all in of itself. So, that's today's training, guys. I appreciate you. I love you. Be bold. Go out there. Put yourself first. Now, notice the word first. Not me only. That's the narcissist. You only. It's codependent. Me first. Me and you, right? Think of it that way, because this is not a selfish thing. Selfishness is taking something from someone else that you think you're entitled to that you don't have entitlement to. So generally, we don't have entitlement to anything from anybody else. The only beings on this planet, in my opinion, that have entitlement to another human being are children, because they didn't come into the world consensually. You didn't ask them if they wanted to be born. You had sex and then they showed up. So they have a right to lean on you and to demand things. But that tends to lessen over time as they get older. And when they become an autonomous adult, now they got to work with consent. Right? Because relationship is a privilege, not an entitlement to anybody. Okay? Okay, so there you go, guys. I appreciate you. Again, go out there and remember that you're worth knowing, loving, and keeping. If you want help in making your life happy again after narcissistic abuse, after codependency, take my workshop, the masterclass I have on breaking free of codependency, and then enroll in the happiness strategy, where I train you in 13 weeks how to retrieve and be your value, how to tune into and follow your voice, and how to receive and embrace your vision and making that a reality. Okay, there you go, guys. Thank you again, and I'll see you for tomorrow's training tomorrow. Have a good night, or have a good morning, actually. Okay, bye-bye, guys.